Hi, Rumi. How are you?
Good, how are you?
Good. Thank you for coming and sitting with me.
Yeah, no worries.
We're going to talk about your piece that we did, or I wasn't in it, but you choreographed called Ha 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 dot 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 ha for Choreographic Works 2019, performed at Ryerson. First question for me is just the fact that laughter was a soundscape and why that was interesting to you.
Alright, I feel like as someone creating stuff right now, I'm not really into traditional, like, here's tracked music, let's, like, put it on, like, dance to it.
Right.
I think partially, like, as a tap dancer, one of the big things that I'm, like, keep hearing again and again is, like, live music, gotta get live music. And so, like, maybe that has some influence on it, and also just, like, a lot of this stuff, I feel like I go seeing a lot of the soundscape to that is either like a lot of percussion with some solo instruments or a lot of like ambient tones and that kind of stuff. So I feel like right now I'm just kind of on a like unconventional sound on stage kind of thing.
Totally, yeah.
And yeah, so also I'm really into like live sound also, like people creating it in person. So like the first question I did when I started this, I was like, what would it be like to choreograph the sound of laughter? And so I was like, okay, well, I'm not just gonna like record the thing. I could just have people laughing. That makes a lot more sense, you know?
That'd be so like unauthentic, just someone laughing into a mic, like ha ha.
I mean, it would work still. Like there'd be ways to like, layer it over and make it really interesting, and that could become like
like an edit or something.
Like a whole musical idea could come out of that, right?
Okay.
You can make a whole like score of just laughing if you wanted to. But I don't know. It's just like the idea of having also people on stage, dancers on stage making sound.
Yeah, like right there. Yeah.
Yeah, so I like that. And so, yeah, like that was kind of the impetus was like, what is it like to dance to the sound of laughter? And then I like had this idea, brought it to Hannah a little bit. I was like, can we like develop some movement first? And so we got in the studio, started doing a little bit of stuff, and I kind of knew I wanted to be like between two realms of like something dance happening and then something more just like her grooving happening.
Okay.
And then
because Hannah was originally
Hannah,
supposed to be the soloist, but then she dropped out, unfortunately.
But
so. Ethan came in, right?
Yeah. So like originally that was like the idea, but then as soon as we started, I was like, I have no idea what this movement should be because I have to see what this looks like with people laughing, and that didn't actually happen until I think the first audition or like a little bit before that, like a couple days before that. I was trying to get people together.
It was sort of.
It was really thrown together, but
quick.
Like as soon as that happened, I was like, okay, this like kind of works. Like I had his movement, and I was like, okay, because this is going to be a lot of people on stage, I need you to be doing something really physical, so that you catch the eye right away.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And so there's a lot of really physical stuff happening with him, and then something really chill. And a lot of really physical stuff, something really chill. And like in my head at first, it was like, oh, he's like wearing headphones and like he can't even hear it, and like maybe I put a different song on every night to fuck with him. And then
interesting.
Like that was the feel originally. But then after like seeing it, I was like, that's kind of hitting the nail on the head a little too hard, maybe.
Okay.
And yeah, and then in one of the like things for when we were showing it to the panel, there was like, oh, there's like this mob of people laughing at him. And somehow, somehow like that didn't, not that it hadn't occurred to me, but it was like separate entities in my head when I was like seeing it in my head. And when I saw it, I was so focused on what he was doing and like getting cues worked out then. Because then I was like, oh, maybe they should stop laughing at him when he's just like grooving. Which like, again, if he had headphones, it would have been like the music takes over. Something happens, right?
Right, okay.
Which I think, I'm glad I steered away from that. But yeah, and so then basically it just became this interplay of like them laughing, then him laughing, and then it was this crowd laughing at him, and that changed the dynamic, and then it was like a social thing happening, which I don't know, I think I might have not done the greatest job of like really being specific in what I was trying to say with it.
Because I remember you saying that some of the audience members one night sort of connected to the idea of bullying and how if you're laughing at someone, especially in a group, like Ethan would feel like bullied. Is that wasn't what you're going for though, right?
Like honestly, my emphasis was just like dancing to the sound of laughter, and then it became this like scenario or like became this narrative, right?
Yeah.
And so then, like because I wasn't coming at it from a narrative standpoint, I wasn't really as prepared to like handle it as that.
Okay.
So I tried a couple different things. I was like, okay, when they stop laughing, he's gonna laugh. And so first I tried, he's laughing the whole time he's dancing, and then when he stops, like he's laughing when they're laughing.
Yeah.
And then when he's grooving, he stops laughing. So we tried when he was dancing and when he was grooving.
Mm-hmm.
And when he was dancing just didn't read right to me. Something might have just been one of those gut instinct things where I was like, no, I feel like this isn't, like, as much as I love the challenge, like, of added physicality by, like, doing really huge things while I'm doing vocally, like, I love that in terms of, like, rigor and, like, pushing someone to, like, see how far it can go.
Difficult.
Yeah, like, that's exciting to me.
Musical theater, almost.
Yeah, in a way. Huh. But yeah, and so then, with the dynamic of the crowd, it wasn't really working, because then if he's just grooving and they start laughing, then it's like saying a different thing. Okay. You know? Yeah. And the like joyousness of the whole thing kind of is diminished and was diminished when that happened in a way.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, but like it would be interesting if I try to reverse it again to see now that like it happened to be like, oh, maybe that was a better path or a different path to go down.
Yeah, yeah. I feel like if you sort of play with the social aspect, like you said, it can change. Totally.
Because that wasn't like in the forefront of my mind. I didn't have. Also, like, getting a crowd together a bunch of times is hard to, like, be like, okay, you're just going to stand here and laugh for, like, an hour. Do you have the time for that? When, like, everyone's trying to rehearse everything. So that's also, like, a lot to ask of people. Sure, yeah. Yeah, but, like, it would have, like, thinking about it as, like, a social experiment almost. Yes, yeah. It would have been interesting to have more time to be like, okay, what if the laughing is like this? What if the people aren't in a crowd, but they're, like, around him or, like, something like that? Like, playing with just the relationship between, like, the laughter and the dancer. Mm-hmm. Yeah, cool. Yeah, so, like, I don't know, I came at it from a pretty, like, I don't know what the word for that is. Like, just, like, a step away from, like, it being people. Okay. In a way. And then, like, when it was happening, I was like, oh, these are people. Things are happening, so. Because maybe, like, if you just wanted the laughter, like, the soundscape, like, would it be interesting to just have a mob of people off stage? Yeah, well, Ethan is dancing. But also, I think, like, that was just the starting point, was, like, laughter and dancing. Mm-hmm. And then it became something. I'm happy it became something. Yeah, because having people on stage creates a relationship to him. Yeah. Like, and they're looking at him. Yeah, I guess, like, I didn't think of it as having meaning at the start, and then meaning appeared. And I was like, okay, cool. There's this meaning. Let me run with it. Okay. Yeah. That's awesome. Yeah, and let's talk a little bit more about how you created Ethan's solo. Like, it's grooves, but then there's, like, so much, like, he's, like, doing a handstand at one point, like, up and down, he's moving everywhere. Do you wanted that because there are people at the back? Yeah, so part of that was... How did you create it? Oh, literally with him, like, so me and Hannah had done this thing where I was just playing with more things, like, creating material process. So we'd done this thing where we each come up with a phrase based on, it was just, like, such a, like, jump through a lot of hoops to get to something, but, like, I was like, okay, I'm going to sit down for like 5 minutes and write down as many song lyrics as we can think of. So I wrote down like as many song lyrics as possible. And then I was like, okay, like pick one word from every lyric and like make 3 new lyrics. We did that. And then I was like, okay, pick like a few words from each of these 3 and like make 1 lyric. It was like that, like random word creation thing, which is from, what's her name? Took class somewhere in the summer and they totally did something. They did that? Well, not that exactly, but like something along those lines of like, okay, like write this down. I give it to someone. Now they create movement. Now from the movement. No, it wasn't Colleen Stone. That was okay, I've done that with her before. What's her name? Oh, this is gonna bug me so much. Edit this part out. Yeah. And edited. Yeah, but yeah, so like she had done that kind of thing where it was like take this text, put it to movement, take this movement, put it to text, throw an object in, do this, and like jumping through a lot of hoops to get to a phrase. So I was just like, might as well just play, like Hannah's down to play. Yeah. And so, yeah, we did that, had like a phrase each, then we traded our phrases. I was like, okay, create a phrase, movement phrase from this. Okay. Then we did that, and then also right now, for some reason, I was curious about kinesthetic learning. So like, without seeing, because like as dancers, we learn everything by like sight and hearing. So we had these phrases, didn't show each other, and then painfully slow, because I didn't have to learn hers, so she learned mine just through me doing it with her eyes closed, just like feeling the phrase happening. Really? Yeah. Like, did you move her, or because if her eyes are closed? Yeah. So like I went really slow, obviously. Yeah. But yeah, so we were just playing to see like if that would create difference, or if our like goal to be accurate as dancers would like override any differences that would come out of the material, or if that would make it more something that her body would naturally do, which, inconclusive. Like, I don't know.
Was it hard?
It was super hard.
Yeah.
And, like, in the end, like, I realized I was vocally giving her so many instructions that, like, I kind of didn't do the task super well.
Right.
So, like, something to play with more in the future for
Cool,
other things. But, yeah, so I just wanted to play with that a little bit, too. And then, so I created a phrase from that, she had a phrase from that. And then she dropped out, and then I was like, hey, Ethan, do you have some time? He's like, yeah, I got like an hour and a half this Saturday. She's like, okay. So we got in the studio. I showed him what my phrase had been. I showed him what Hannah's phrase had been, because we just had video of both, so that was like pretty rote learning. And then a lot of the other physical stuff, I just wanted to push his physicality a lot. I was like, hey, can you do this thing? I was like, okay, I want to do this thing. Can you do that? Okay, maybe do this instead. And just try to like make it look like make it stuff that was comfortable in his body, and make it stuff that was like impressive. Like not like impressive, but just like large physically, right?
Bigger, yeah, because he needed to have like the eye to go to him, I guess.
Yeah, like part of it was the eye going to him, and part of it is like another thing I'm really curious about right now is how we as people energize each other when we're in like scenarios like that, like dance scenarios.
Cool.
So I feel like laughter is like a very energizing thing. Like if a bunch of people are laughing, like it's like that could push you to keep moving further, right?
Totally.
And so I don't know how much that really played into effect of his dancing, or if like it became an aggressive thing at him, or like an uplifting thing for him. But yeah, and so then I'm really rambling about this. But yeah, so then
it's all good.
I basically just gave him a lot of like really physical stuff. That some of which was like he like suggested like, oh, like I was like, can you do it like this? And he's like, well, I can do like this thing. And like did like this crazy like push off his hands. I was like, yeah, do that. But like, can you do like with this, or like can you lift that hand up and like do something, or like
you're trying to just like pass limits.
Yeah, just see how far I could push like what his physicality was without getting like
too
gymnastics.
Yeah,
yeah. Like I like the idea of like circus or like acrobatics better than like gymnastics.
Okay, yeah.
I feel like it's like how we conceptualize a lot of like tricky stuff here. But anyways,
right, yeah, no, and I think like you say, when there's laughter, like it does energize you, and I really felt that watching it. I immediately started laughing. Like for some reason, it was like a contagious thing for me.
That's the other thing. Like laughter is super contagious, right?
Yeah.
So like the goal was like it starts off a few people giggling and like kind of laughing, and then the crowd is laughing on stage, which keeps getting bigger, and then the audience starts laughing. So it's like it's in all directions for this dancer.
Huge like connection right away.
Yeah, and so for a way, like in a way, the whole thing was just an experience for him.
Cool.
Which is like, what does it feel like to be pushing yourself physically as hard as you can, not necessarily in a stamina way, but in like a muscular endurance way.
Okay.
While at the same time being surrounded by this energizing thing.
Mm-hmm.
But then also it was kind of like an aggressive thing. So
it ended up kind of being that way, I guess.
Yeah, so.
And every audience was different, I guess. Like.
Yeah, and even also like every night the laughing crowd different prompts.
Yeah, and people would laugh at different times.
Yeah, like the first night I was like, at first I was like laughing at him.
Mm-hmm.
The one night I was like, okay, well we have 6 shows, let's like change it up a little. So I was like, okay, tonight can you guys try laughing with him? And it totally, like, the tone of the laughter had gotten kind of low, and, like, just pitch-wise got a little higher, which was interesting. Which I
like, more of, like, a...
yeah, I don't know what the reasoning behind that was, but I was like, interesting, like, small change there. And then the energy of the crowd was just, like, a lot higher that night. So I was like, okay, try that again. And the next night they tried it again, and it didn't work at all. And so I was like, okay, try, I gave another task then. I kept giving the crowd new tasks every night then after that.
Okay.
Just try to, like, keep it alive. Because also, like, a part of being on stage and laughing, it kind of got theatrical, where it was like, we're pretending to laugh, ha ha ha.
And it kind of becomes this, like...
And it loses, like, the authenticity, which makes laughter contagious.
Yeah.
You know? So I was trying to, like, steer away from that into something authentic, which is hard to do and hard to navigate. But I think, like, it worked at least once, maybe twice, so that's good.
At least it works once, yeah.
That's most you can ask for, right?
Yeah, honestly, yeah. Cool, and like maybe we can talk about where you want to go with this, or if you don't want to go anywhere with it. Like some people just want to keep it in choreo, and that's what happened. Yeah. But is there like more that you want to do?
It wasn't until longer.
Yeah, why not?
I was like, where would this go next?
Yeah, I'm wondering too.
I have no idea. Like because it became so narrative, I feel like some sort of narrative about this like this character that's been set up, who's like laughing and then goes through and then like has this emotional thing and then fuck and then like
yeah, because he has this moment where he's built up and he's on stage and then all of a sudden he just goes like shit, right at the end to finish it.
Also, another reason that like Ethan was so great for that is like he has like a little more like vocal training.
Yeah.
So I was like, like really belt out that last moment, like let it like think fit musically, like kill it.
Oh
and,
yeah.
like, he got there, which is nice.
Definitely, it was almost like a maniacal laugh.
Yeah,
like
also the crazy laugh
like
at the end.
An evil scientist, and then it was like like and then blackout. You know, like
also
so
like
cool.
another like thing I wanted to do with that was like the audience kind of laughing along and kind of laughing, and then you get to this uncomfortable thing where it's like, oh, should we have been laughing? Did we fuck him up?
Right.
And like when everyone's like uncomfortably like on the edge, it's like this is funny, this is weird, I don't know how to feel. Then he breaks the tension and was like, shit. Yeah. And everyone's like, okay, we can laugh at that.
Totally.
You know? So that's the other part of like that, which I really liked and he did a good job of too, was like getting really like grounded and crazy and like shooting that out and being like, okay, this like human action has more to it than just like this joy. There's also this like weird, like angry, crazy, like what does that mean? And like we all see it, go, that's crazy. But like what makes it crazy laughter? You know? Yeah.
It's all like built up, I guess, maybe. Yeah, I don't know. This is great.
Sorry, in terms of it going further, so that's one direction it could go into something more narrative where we see this person then different, it could be like different setups then of like now everyone's crying and he's doing
interesting.
Which would be kind of like might be kind of cliche, but
it would like, maybe
it could bring this like it could bring a single person through some sort of odyssey, or it could even just be like a motif of like laughter throughout a lot of movement and how those things can interplay more. Because that's something that I think I could have more inspiration. I'm interested in like dancers on stage phonating, creating sound, and I think like naturally as humans, like we laugh, we cry, we
like an actual outburst is just normal for us.
Yeah, and so I feel like in terms of adding that to the dance, it would be easier than trying to like throw in text all of a sudden or throw in things which like feel less authentic. Which this like obviously this is a lot harder. Like this doesn't make it so much easier because it's still got inauthentic at a certain point, right? To like swerve it to make it into something.
Did you like tell them a funny joke before they went on stage?
No, I got actually told Brayden to tell Max a joke when they walked on stage.
Oh, really?
Just to see what it did. And afterwards, like, so Max, how did that work? And he was like, the joke wasn't funny at all.
Oh no! See,
like,
that's the thing, right?
And then I was like, didn't that make it funnier for you? And he's like, no.
Oh
like,
no! Yeah, because like, how do you initiate a comedic feeling, like a feeling of joy? And if it's especially if you're on stage too, you're thinking about your cues, you're thinking about other people.
Yeah, but maybe that's like one of those things where it's like you gotta go look at the acting technique and be like, do I want you to feel the thing to be on stage, or can you like mimic it to a point that I can't tell the difference.
Interesting.
Right?
Cool. Yeah, no, this is great.
Yeah, I have a lot more questions than I do answers.
No, yeah, go ahead if you want to bring it up.
No, that's just like, I feel like I haven't said anything definitive. I've been like, it could be this, or it could be this.
Hey, it's all part of the process.
Yeah,
I love it.
All part of the process.
Yeah. Is there anything you want to plug coming up, like new projects you got going on?
No.
I mean, we're gonna finish third year. That's a good one.
That's right. Come see dances next year
in November.
Jeez.
Cool.
Yeah, I'm just trying to.
What are you doing this summer, actually?
Trying to go to Europe.
Dope. Where?
Yeah, well, I've signed up for like B12 and Connect Lab.
Amazing.
Just like Germany and Brussels. But yeah, right now I'm just like really in process mode. Like I started something else for choreo that didn't end up getting in, but I was still curious about it, and choreo wasn't the right format for it anyways.
Okay.
And so then I like had the opportunity through some tap dance stuff also to come back, but like to show a little piece of it to just like a random room of people who like weren't really contemporary dancers. Maybe there's a couple, but like mostly just like people, and like their reactions were really interesting to me, and like I got a little like keep going with this, and I forgot that from other people too. So I'm really interested in just like pursuing that thing, which is a lot of like duration mixed with rigor, mixed with like maybe some found space ideas in there, just trying it in different places. But it's kind of more of like building a practice right now. It's a very specific practice, not like me as a dancer practice, like a specific thing. It's like this is this practice. But I don't know if it's a performance practice or a personal practice. But yeah, cool. So that's what I'm up to right now. But I don't know when that's going to become anything. Like hopefully, I have some ideas of where it could fit, but I haven't even thought about reaching out to anyone about putting that there because it's not it's still like a egg.
Yeah, we're so busy too.
Still incubating.
Yeah, there's like I find it hard to create new projects and really like have the time to think about them because we've got school, we've got work,
At the same time, it's like there's other people that are like, oh yeah, like I'm at school and then I'm going to this thing and then I'm going to this art gallery and then I'm going to perform there and then I'm going to get uptown and like.
I don't know how they do it, honestly. Cool. Well, thanks so much for coming.
Thank you.
So great talking to you.